Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside Chats at the European Cardano community. This is our little series, Intentionally Random, where Bjarne and I explore the realms of Cardano from stake pool operators' perspectives. Bjarne's pool has been with Cardano since ITN, and I joined with my pool in late 2022. So when we talk, then he is the Cardano OG, while I am an entrepreneurial new joiner. By the way, I am Marcus, one of the core team members of the European Cardano community. And if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects and, of course, Bjarne's tech stake pool. At time of this recording, these are Davide's Rookies game, Ricardo's Web3 user group, and my birth stake pool connected to Larissa Health. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Now hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and enjoy this session.
A little bit sick, like a dog.
Oh, you're okay. A little sick, but then you say as a dog, so it's like almost dying, or
Almost.
yeah.
Not enough to take a break. So
Oh, no, of course, no time to rest.
no, both of us are not in Barcelona. So what kept you home?
Good question. I have hardly done any like dedicated traveling for Cardano. Most because I find it hard to kind of defend the costs.
Yeah.
I would like to travel more, but then I need the tech pool to be more successful, because then I could say it's like a business travel. I could still do that, but tech pool is still like running in minus.
You have a little.
Yeah,
uptick.
it's because of the price appreciation. So it cost me less ADA to run the cloud servers. But now that the price went back down, it's not as good. But then again, I just got a big delegator, so this is going to drive me in a net positive in a few months. And yeah, then I think I want to spend more of that profit to meet up and participate more physically. And I'm actually considering going to Dubai this year and do my first in-person summit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it looked so nice last year, so it would be cool to join that.
Yeah, that was a really nice one, especially when they did the firing up and so on.
Yeah,
So,
the Cardano fire.
Cool. Yeah. But you're right. With the defending of the cost, I'm on your side on that one, especially if it's the planning was very first it was 2 days, then it was 1 day, then I moved the location. So it's hard to keep up with that. So kudos to everybody who went. But I'm on your side, and at the same time we are moving, so there's no time for that. Currently I'm working on the review side, or not on the review side, on the milestones are getting reviewed for European Cardano community, and this time we have a new reviewer, and I was not involved in the last process, but he seems to be or she seems to be a bit more strict than the last one. So now we have a really tight frame that we have to follow, and this is a little bit sometimes eye-watering process.
Excuse me, so this reviewer, that's for Catalyst funding?
Yes. We got funded, so that's why we have the funds for the country hubs that we're trying to get off the ground. And we have some people interested, but in the beginning we were 4 people. Now we're most likely 2 people that are running the hub. So we are quite good on track, but it's a lot more work, which basically brings down the work reward ratio, because this has been thought to be more of a side gig right? For the community, getting a few rewards, but mainly focusing on our own projects. But now this is taking a bit more time than we expected, and the appreciation is way below that what you would usually calculate for your living. So but we want to keep it up. We want to get the country hubs off the ground. We have people that are interested in hosting, but those who have expressed interest are, I don't know, maybe they're waiting for a signal, or maybe they're occupied at the moment. So it's a rough time at the moment to cope with all of these, to get everyone really involved. And yeah, that's taking a little bit of its toll.
Yeah, no, I bet. Yeah, just coordinating people, and it's from different countries, different nationalities. Definitely, it sounds like a very, very hard job. But you get like paid as well, right? For
yes,
doing this work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the reward is, we initially calculated with roughly 60 euros per hour. Right now we're more likely down to 24 euros per hour or so.
So why though? Because you lost 2 people, means there will be more reward for you and the other guy, right?
But we have made it so that initially we created the reward program for the team. We were very careful how we draw it out, because we prevent for the future, if new team members come and we don't have the unity that we have right now, that one team member would say, you know what, I'm just taking over all of the tasks and getting all the rewards for it. So it's a diminishing return that you get when you work for it. The lower your reward gets, right? So and with that, the amount that we get is getting lower, and so that makes it hard to keep the promise, but at the same time taking care of your own time. So yeah, that's what we're struggling a little bit with. We're still on track. We have pushed the merge part a little bit further, because we last time we had a lot of raffles, and these are the ones that we are pushing forward now into the next milestone a little bit. We had to get everything else done. So yeah, the communication forth and back with the reviewer is a bit longer than expected, and hopefully now everything is okay and should be fine.
Still though, for a person like me that's never like been involved or applied for the catalyst process, it's also nice to hear that they don't just give out a bunch of ADA, because I think many people in the community thinks that, okay, so this proposal just got a grant, and they think, they will get all the ADA. But yeah, because you set up the milestones, right? And then you have the reviewer following up and seeing that you're actually doing the job. So if some person comes with some super unrealistic or just a proposal that doesn't make sense, they're gonna get screwed later on, because the reviewer will see that you can't do this. Yeah,
very true.
so.
But sometimes it's and I appreciate the patience of the reviewer here, like very much. I was just like, I was following the previous process somehow, and all of a sudden I went against the wall. So yeah, so you have personalities that you have in project management anyway. But this one is really straight, and I am at a certain point, I get furious. I did get furious already, and I said to my partner, I said, you know what? Whenever I get a review from Catalyst and it's not the way I want, I'm going back to my old rule. Get away for one day. Then answer and wait another day before you send your response. It is really like that, because I've seen both ways now, And I would say yes, in some cases, if you have a reviewer, the reviewer knows who you are, but you don't know who the reviewer is. And so that
yes, they're anonymous.
Yes. That might mean that you have somebody who is in favor for you, which then would be unjust, because they would, as you said, just let you pass, maybe. And then you might have somebody who's not in favor for you, and they would just not let you pass for whatever reason and find ways to put you on the spot. Because the milestones, they are given, and you have to create a change request if something is a little bit off. I have to admit, I'm still new to the process. I've been just thrown into it, and I did it on the side because I was not expecting to do that. So I loosely only read the guidelines regarding how do you create a change request, what is necessary, etc., because I had to secure the funds, otherwise we would have run out of time. But yes, if you have, I think our reviewer might be benevolent. That's what I hope.
A bit what?
Benevolent, is that the way how you say that? Benevolent, that's how I would say that. Like with goodwill.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And because you have the milestone tool, and then they have a comment section. And the comment section is like a little window, like a chat window. And the experience that I made is that the reviewers will not necessarily read those chat windows. So I literally just wrote that in one report. I'm writing with the guy in the or the girl in the comment section, so that the reviewer would read it. And I even wrote the Catalyst team that it would be nice if they would read it. So
yeah. Well, I guess like for a reviewer, if they're going to like check if you have achieved the milestone, they will only read like the text that you define there. And that's also the kind of the point with milestone, is that they should be like a short identifiable point that's easy to recognize if you achieved the milestone or not.
We have still the old structure.
Yeah.
And I have to probably adapt it a little bit. And the way I did it now is I have about 10 links that are, because one milestone is roughly 2 months long. And I have about 10 links with all the different parts that we're doing, like the public roadmap, then the concept of how the country hubs will be, because they're all split up over different files, right? It just makes sense for later. Then the different reports, like how does the finance split up? How does rewards for raffles, etc. Where do we send these things? Like, for example, the little gratification for you. How do we do this? Like, all these has to be documented. And so in the end, you come up with about 10 links in our case, right? And I was, in the beginning, I thought, okay, and that was my misconception. Okay, I have those 10 links, and then I give them the links, each of everyone a title, and so the reviewer should be able to follow this. However, you have a milestone, an achievement list, and seeing it from the reviewer, it's very logical that you say, okay, you want to have as little work as possible, so please bring the links in order to exactly match those achievement targets that you have set as a proposer, which is absolutely logical, because that should define actually the reporting structure. However, our previous reporting structure wasn't like that. And it's okay to submit it like that. So we had one big GitHub Gitbook page, and then another Gitbook page for the payment processes. And that's we provided so far, and that was okay. But now this reviewer wants a more structured approach, which means, okay, how to adapt to from the old one to the next one is like you as a proposer, or at least I did. Okay, I'm not gonna go walk 5 miles now. I just hand over like, okay, this could be a misunderstanding from where it could be a little bit clearer. So I didn't rework the whole process, but just a little bit. So the learning was now after a little bit of conversation between the reviewer and myself, let's make it as easy as possible for him, because I don't like having the same link 5 times in one list. Like that's stupid for me, because it just makes it unreadable. So now I've been working with link references 1, 2, 3, and below I had a numbered link reference list, and hopefully that makes it easy for the reviewer to go through and to find his or her way.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a reasonable way to do it, and that's how you reference other sources when you write some kind of report or article. So yeah.
So that should work, hopefully. Yeah. So, but that kept me a little bit up. And then what we're trying to do now is we want to push EU Cardano more into a DAO structure. So
interesting.
So we're evaluating between Clarity DAO and Summon Platform. I think these are the most. I was even checking out again for a DAO, but it's not available anymore. I mean, it's still working, but even when you go to the Discord server, it seems that they're always referencing Summon now. So so that, but the interesting part is that the platform still works, even though it seems not to be maintained anymore. So the decentralization aspect should seems to work on this part. I don't know where it's hosted, but the application is running, so that's cool. That's very cool. And I think Clarity is, both have their pros and cons. I think the pricing model is very much better or more efficient on Summon at the moment. That's what I see, because you buy the Summon token, and with that you can do things. You can do the transactions for the multi-signature wallets, and you can create polls. And at the moment, the costs are marginal. So you have those 2 major features that we use, or one of them that we want to use is the voting, and the one that we are currently using is the multi-signature process.
Interesting.
The multi-signature process is missing in Clarity DAO. However, setting up the vote is pretty easy. A poll is really easy. I think that it's easy in Summon too. We haven't done it yet. I tested the functionality during testnet on Clarity. And what's nice is they have a leaderboard where you can actually compare between the people, and you can, if you are on Clarity, you can basically jump between all the different DAOs. So you can dedicate your life to voting if you're interested in that.
Do you have to hold the Clarity tokens in order to vote? For like, if it's the EU Cardano case, then you have to own Clarity tokens to vote.
That's one of the things that we are also working on. We will create our own token in order to maintain this. You can use the Clarity token. I thought you were able to use ADA, but I'm not sure if it has been corrected, because I think the issue was that ADA doesn't have a token ID. That was the reasoning back then.
That's true.
I don't know if they have solved the problem. I don't know. But wouldn't be the right approach anyway, I think, because the way how we want to do it is we want to tie the voting power to the participation.
But then it's more like one person, one vote, or is it like
no, it's
the person holding most Cardano EU tokens?
Yeah, it's more in that direction, but this will be, and that's what we still have to work on. The initial idea is very basic to say, how many events did you participate on? How did you generally interact? And then that's what we have to define the metrics first.
But the tokens are not going to be like traded and be able to sell them.
We will probably create a little pool for that. I mean, creating that on MinSwap is 100 ADA, if I'm right. So
it is risky, though, I would say.
Yeah.
Because then you say in the start the tokens might not be much worth, so you can have this one guy just I'm going to take over the entire EU Cardano and always win the votes. Then you could just buy them all.
Yeah, we can restrict the way what can be voted on. That's what we could do in the beginning. Yeah, we thought of that part as well, but we're not really smart on the way how we want to initiate that. First we thought, okay, let's all start at the same level. But then we said it might be wise to give the core team a little bit of an advantage in the beginning, because we have best interest for the community that we are currently founding. But it shouldn't be so big that we will always have the last say. So that's what we're currently considering or thinking about. If you have any ideas, super open for anything in that regards.
I've been like talking about the Cardano government 6094 to get a great insight in the problems with decentralized voting. And the biggest problem is the term that everyone should be anonymous. So there would be no KYC, and that's also, it's a good thing, but also a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because how do you know for sure that you have 10 persons voting, consisting of maybe 10% of the token supply, but in reality, maybe it's just one person, and you don't know that. So no, it's super hard, and it's I'm going to follow that and see how it's solved. I don't think I have the solution though. It's like it's either KYC or not in my perspective.
I have an idea how we want to do that with Lattice Health. It's going to be KYC'd, but this is going to be within the realms of midwifery. So all the midwives will know or will have an interest that you will have KYC people, but you have to apply the KYC to the voting itself, just on the general.
I think for many cases in crypto, KYC is okay. And I think for EU Cardano, why not KYC? Yeah, maybe someone wants to be anonymous, but then again, you have all the persons who cares to vote. They also care about the ecosystem, and they're probably a big part of it as well, meaning that their identity is maybe probably already known by many other members.
That's very true.
So
KYC also has costs involved, like very much. So
that's true as well. Yeah,
you cannot just implement that.
It's hard to automate. It's hard to automate this and just write it in code. There has to be some human validation in between.
Yeah, you basically take one of the companies that are out there, and the costs would be, depending on what kind of model you take, somewhere between I would say 75 euro cent to 250 or even 340. And the higher end is most of the time the pay as you go. Or pay as you go. No, pay as you go is the correct term. Pay as you go. And that often involves a tier that says every KYC attempt is being tracked and calculated against your budget. While the other one, where you have a prepayment of maybe like 3,000 or 12,000 euros, allows for blind verifications or failed verifications. But it's actually disturbing what you can see during the verification process. Usually when you have a phone in your hand, we all did a KYC at least once in our life. And you wouldn't think that only the frame that you and I see now, for example, in the Zoom session, that's the part that the opponent sees, the verifier. But that's not the part that he sees or she sees. It's more, it's a wider spectrum. They limit basically the output window to your face. Still will screen the whole video angle. And I got told like really funny stories. Like people would stand there naked. Some because they didn't know, and some just to beep off the verifier. Verifier. So yeah. But yeah, the cost is definitely a big point on these ones. I think in the beginning we could associate them manually. That's what we could do. Using something like Hazelbot or from CNT. I think that's the Discord Cardano NFT space. Is it CNT? I think it is. I'm not sure. But they also have a verification tool, so we could verify the wallets against the people we could do that.
That sounds like the best solution though.
Yeah, and then figure out if we can limit the amount of voting to those registered wallets. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What I found interesting over the time now is when the markets are getting kind of quiet. I mean the buzzy quiet or humming quiet. The stake pool raiders. They're all around. I mean, I've had them. I see you having them now as well. Like
the stake pool what?
Raiders. Like they jump in for rewards and then they jump off within a very short time frame, and they it's not like, I mean, it's different. Some of them hop onto your pool, and then they buy some other assets, and you see just the stake decreasing. But then you also have those that have seen, okay, you got some high rewards recently, then they jump onto the server or into the delegation, see that this epoch didn't have so many strikes, and then they leave again, and missing the opportunity to get the actual blocks of this epoch. So and then you have those, and I'm not sure whether those are what is it, retail delegators, I would say so, or stake pool delegators, like delegations from stake pool wallets that are here for your rewards.
I don't know. It's I actually did think about, okay, if I weren't running tech pool, that I might try to make some kind of bot that would maximize the reward by using like stake pool performance or something. But the thing is, that's like basically the same as guessing the price of Bitcoin or the price of ADA. It's random, and also you delegate and you have to wait 2 epochs before you actually get rewards from this stake pool. And now you say that people jump in because they see there might be some good rewards there. It's a 50-50 chance. So I hope they realize that soon. But for me, it doesn't bother me if someone leaves like the epoch after they delegated. Sure, thanks anyway. I would say.
It's just I agree with you. It just hurts me for my thesis because I believe that during the K parameter discussion, I'm on the fence that not every delegator that you have is just in there for the rewards. There are some delegators that support you because of what you're trying to do or what you
that's true. Yeah.
And and I understand the reward part. I mean, it makes totally sense. But then again, I see that, or I want basically delegators also to say, okay, this is some kind of a good thing that this stake pool operator is standing for. So I'm supporting it because that's what everybody is shouting around for. In here for the tech, in here for the mission. So you cannot just jump on and off because of 1 or 2 years of development time or whatever it is. And I think people, this is a childish thought, but
that's true. That's true as well. What you're saying, and I know because I have some delegators that supports what I've done with the JetRadar and also the kind of the refund model I've been doing. So yeah, definitely. But you will also have those that's only after maximizing their reward.
Yeah.
You have both.
You have both, exactly.
Yeah.
To me, it hurts with the other ones that are basically they just want me for my money.
Well, that's the service you're giving, man.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah, no, of course it hurts seeing delegators leave. That's the worst. Like I said to my delegators, I don't mind you delegating 50k ADA to my stake pool. That's great. And if you choose to take out 49,000 ADA and buy some snack,
thank you for the 1,000.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for 1,000. Because what's even more important than staking the tech pool is people using the Cardano blockchain. Because that's what I am in here for. I'm passionate about Cardano. So for me, it's Cardano first, then tech pool.
Yeah. Nice word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but if they leave, yeah, that hurts. It does, yeah. I put down a lot of work, and heck, I've been running tech pool for 3 years, and I'm still like not made that profit yet.
I mean, here, I don't know.
It's a long-term investment for me. It's a long-term investment.
I'm on 1.5 years now. I don't know. It's 24. Yeah. And I think in September 22, I think we started somewhere around that. So yeah.
It's a young pool.
A young pool. It's a young pool, yeah. No, but yeah, the thing that I dislike about this is shouting for the decentralization, but then not wanting to understand that running a stake pool is costly. You could use that resources somewhere else.
Right? Yeah, I think it's possible to run a stake pool quite cheap though, but you would sacrifice. You would sacrifice like decentralization, because then you could go to the super mainstream cloud server provider, or you have to sacrifice security, because you could run a stake pool without a relay. And you can just run it on a old laptop that you took back from work, and you could hook that up as a stake pool and also hook it up as a relay, and you could just basically run it for free. No hardware cost, no monthly fee to the VPS supplier.
Very true.
So it can be done really cheap. I have thought about it. It's like,
yeah,
I'm so sick of paying these cloud server bills when I don't make in the money. I'm like,
but that's our investment.
Nah.
Yeah,
Cardano first, but it's like sometimes I have this like, I would be in so much profit. Like it would be in profit years ago if I did it like that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think for me it's also like just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Being honest is also one of my core values. So yeah. I can't make myself do
it. Same here. It's a lot of ice cream though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what's coming. I'm really curious. Especially, did you join the last SPO chat? The call?
I don't think so. Maybe last time I think it was busy with something.
Yeah, what I understood is that stake is getting even more decisive around the leadership law, leadership schedule. Sorry. So I don't know if do you know something about that? Like,
no, that's the first. Are they changing something in the like block assignment
it sounds to me like that with P2P that
okay, yeah, I think P2P. I don't think that has anything to do with the block leader assignments. But I heard that I think this is the previous SBO call. They talked about the P2P stuff, that they will prioritize pool with large stakes. So basically what it means is that if a stake pool has like 60 million ADA stake, it would also get more connections from smaller pools. And honestly, I don't think that's any problem, because when I log into my relay and I see like 90 connections coming in, it's like, okay, if you cut that in half, that's still plenty. So so it's no problem.
I remember right, the first recommendation was about 15 to 20.
Yeah, that was the old that's when we used the topology finder that made by the pool tool people. Yeah.
What's now the current recommendation?
Yeah, you run full P2P.
Hot nodes? No, of connected hot nodes.
Excuse me?
Of hot nodes, like connected hot peers. What's the recommendation now?
Of the numbers?
Yeah.
I think I don't remember, but it's in the config file. It's already there as default.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Because you have maximum cold connections, hot connections, and warm connections.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember, but when you download the mainnet config file, it's there. You don't have to change it.
Yeah. Just when you just reload the chain, then you should lower it. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Man, I'm so excited for this year though. With I think I don't think SIP 6 when they implement the SIP 1695, I don't think it will get like the recognition it deserves from the outside, like Ethereum people or so. But I think in the long term, it's going to be huge. It would be like, at least what I know of, a proper first decentralized governance tool. What would be cool if countries start using it, using like Cardano base layer for presidential votings. That would be many years, I think, but still, this is the starting phase, And I think for me, like I said, my core values are honesty and openness. And for me, this is so beautiful. And I'm actually considering going to Argentina when they do the when they when they submit the constitution and figure out what it should say. Because for me, it's so important what we're doing here.
That's beautiful to hear.
Mm.
That's beautiful. Yeah, as I said before, that's not going to be my role, but yeah.
No, I don't know either. Like we talked about last time about becoming a D-rep or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still unsure. I think my role is the SPO. That's my first priority. And when you choose this role, it's also hard to follow all the other projects, just what's going on in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that if I became a D-rep, it might be hard to decide if some project should get catalyst funding or not, if they should take this and this out of the treasury and what the ADA will go towards. But I know that the Nordic Cardano community, that's all the Scandinavian countries, that they are collaborating, and I think they're going to like have one D-rep just representing the entire Nordic community. So I might just delegate to that in the start, and then we'll see.
Right.
And also that D-rep might actually be like a collection of many people signed via a smart contract. That's also one of the beautiful things about the D-rep is that the D-rep can be a smart contract.
That's actually a good idea. You could basically say one pool or one person is taking care, or one group of person is taking care of the real FI projects section. Some other are taking more care of, I don't know, meme campaigns or other projects, etc.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Or
the point is the possibilities will be endless. It's just like the Cardano EU TXO model that all the Ethereum people are just mocking. It's because they don't understand it, but it's now we just see gradually Cardano projects exploiting all kind of awesome features you can do with this stuff. And I feel like the D-rep is converging to something similar. That it's not just you register a D-rep and you have to be one person, but man, you can link that to a smart contract, and then this still there possibilities are endless, and that's so cool. Like for a nerdy person like me, just having a project or anything where only your own fantasy sets the limitation, that's so cool. And I feel Cardano is just creeping towards that domain, and that's what in the end will make sure that Cardano we kind of wins the race and becomes number one, because we have there's no limitations in terms of what we can develop on it. So
you're still thinking in who becomes number one? I don't. Do you still think, or do you think in who becomes number one?
Cardano, I think Cardano will be number one, but I'm not. I don't have the knowledge to argue if it's going to be Cardano, if it's going to be number one price wise, because it's like when Charles says Cardano or like we are going for number one. He's not saying it because it's going to be number one of the coin market cap. It's the number one ecosystem in terms of usage, in terms of development, just in general. And I agree with that. If Cardano ever goes past Bitcoin, I have no idea. I think Cardano now, like price-wise, is underperforming. When you look at all the other projects that's over it, but when you've been in the space long enough, you kind of realize that the coin market cap top 10 is not reflecting the projects at all.
Yeah, we talked about that last time or the time before.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, that's why I asked the question, because I think we came kind of to the conclusion that the different projects will have different purposes. Yeah. Flegenslakter. And I think Cardano is going to be the good boring one. Yeah. That's absolutely cool. I'm going to cure myself a little bit now. Still have to edit the video then, but yeah, that was good. That was really interesting. Thanks for the tips with the governance.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
No,
it's just fun sitting here talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we just have I'm not drinking beer at the moment, so otherwise I would have said just let's have a cerveza in mind of the Barcelona guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Never been to Barcelona, actually.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful city. Yeah, it's really nice. Gaudi is really big there. He's been an architect. He's an architect and yeah, I think you would summarize it as an architect, but it's more like art what he did. From what I see, I mean, he's been working on the church, or better said, a dome. I've seen his work in Barcelona and in Mallorca, I think it was, where he built a shrine within a church. I mean, his work is extraordinary. It's like if you would imagine yourself going through a candy park, that's how it looks like sometimes. So they have built a real big park in there to stroll around, and it's absolutely beautiful. You could spend hours in there. And then he has built I'm not sure, I think it was a building to live in, or however, I think they turned it into kind of a museum now. It's been almost 10 years since I was there. And he has lots of these round shapes in there. It's absolutely fascinating to walk through, and it's a very unique sensation to go through his buildings and through his artwork. I'm usually not attached to the modern art so much. I like Bauhaus, but I'm more of a classical guy. So you could send me into any castle, or what's the English word for slot? For slot in Danish.
Yeah. Is that a castle?
And the other one, the rocky one.
I would say both of them are castles.
In German, we have a differentiation between Burg and Schloss. So eine Burg.
Borg, yeah, Borg. Yeah, that's similar to Norwegian. Yeah, Borg and Slot. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't thought much about it.
Like a motte. Then you have that's the thing on the hill, and then you have the wall around it. Whatever. Write it down in the comments. So what is it I wanted to say? So yeah, that's where you could spend hours in. Like, you just put me in one and I could spend my lifetime in there and find little niches that I like.